Back once again, continuing our conversation with Stephen Starr. So you come up, you make the big jump to, well, first of all, when you come to New York and you decide the product you're bringing up here, you got to find a place to put it. I mean, you got the real estate considerations and everything like that. So even before we're talking about opening the door and trying to show, you know, all those who say you're just, you know, you're big in Philadelphia, but this is New York, you gotta scout out where you're going to be and how you're going to present yourself here. Was that a tremendous challenge?
It was a challenge, but I knew one of the things I do best, and that's to find great space. And I found great space in the Morimoto space, in the Chelsea market, in the hottest area at the time, and still, meatpacking. And then at the same time, Budokan, the same space, same landlord. So I went out scared, saying, I got to make a giant statement in New York to show them that they're dealing with the real deal here. So I trained hard. And I hired Tada Ando, who's Pritzker Prize-winning architect from Japan, to do Morimoto. He's a legend. He's a genius. And I hired Christian Liagra, who's a world-renowned interior designer, to do Budokan. So I hired two of the most impressive designer architects in the world to do this. So that's first. I'm putting together a team, an incredible team, to try and win. So I achieved that. The design is brilliant, in my opinion. We've won many awards at Budokan and Morimoto. And then we focused on the food. And with Morimoto, we had Chef Morimoto, of course, spearheading the food. And at Budokan, I put together a culinary team of several chefs to come up with that menu. And through, you know, many, many tastings and rehearsals and, you know, eating constantly and changing and tweaking, we came up with what I believe to be a great menu.
And the reaction, critical and in terms of business, was it what you expected as well?
Well, in terms of the critical reaction, I kind of stirred things up in a couple of interviews before we opened, sort of having a little bit of an arrogant attitude about, you know, I haven't been impressed with anything in New York in years. And I sort of
So you're trying to pull some triggers
at
out
the same
there,
time,
yeah.
I still remembered being a kid watching Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali, and I knew I had to stir it up a little bit.
I am the greatest, yeah.
To get some attention. Morimoto I wasn't worried about because he was the Iron Chef, but Budokan, no one knew what it was.
Yep.
So I kind of stirred it up, and it kind of worked. But I had to deliver after that, and I think that I and my organization did a great job, and again, little luck there too.
I want to talk about the expansion, but also the other thing that intrigues me is even successful restaurants come and go more quickly than some people anticipate. You have enduring staying power. What's the secret to that?
I think the enduring staying power is, again, this persistence and not taking failure at all. I mean, I am constantly watching the restaurants, the food. I'll call at 11 o'clock at night and ask what song is playing.
What song is playing?
Yes,
Really?
I'm constantly checking, and I've trained my people to be neurotic, and our motto is always be nervous.
Always be nervous.
Always be nervous. You walk into a restaurant, don't be calm, don't be complacent, don't sit down and have a drink. Be nervous.
So you're looking for anything that might be out of sorts?
Always, always, because in the restaurant business, the reason why it stinks is that every second that goes by, something can go wrong.
When the economy goes wrong and things get tough right now, we touched upon this earlier, but from your perspective, what do you do? I mean, do you find new ways to create buzz? Do you fine-tune it the way we were talking earlier about taking it down a notch or making it more casual or more approachable? What do you do to deal with a perception on the part of people that maybe we don't have as many bucks, we can't go out as much?
I think with the economy, you have to be sensitive to the pricing. You can't raise prices with the food costs going up. You have to sort of engineer the food a little bit and make sure there are items that they can still get under $20 or under $30. Additionally, I believe that the concepts need to be easier and not as fancy or overbearing, because it's tough times. People want easy right now. They don't want it to be difficult. They don't want to be intimidated when they go out.
Talk to me about the operation in Atlantic City and your goals there.
Atlantic City seemed to be a very good market to pounce on. Pretty mediocre stuff down there. The casinos weren't very good. And we've been approached by the Pier at Caesars to do 2 restaurants, which we did. They put up a decent part of the money. And this new project is the first boutique hotel in Atlantic City called the Chelsea.
And this is not a gaming hotel, right?
Not a gaming hotel, which was very exciting to me because I don't particularly like the gaming thing. So we're doing 2 restaurants there, Teplitsky's, which is a casual restaurant, and Chelsea Prime, which is a high-end boutique steakhouse. Plus, we're doing all the food and beverage for the hotel.
That's a lot of stuff to oversee. Do you ever feel overwhelmed?
Every minute of the day. But it's also what moves me. I mean, I get excited about being able to control and make all these things work. And when I walk in and they're working well, it's a great sense of satisfaction.
You ever take vacations? Can you afford to with this kind of responsibility?
I don't take many vacations. I try and take like 3-4 day little shots here and there, but I'm still looking forward for that 2-week vacation.
Can you do that with this kind of I mean, if you're calling up to find out what song is playing, you're not letting this really drift too far away from your mind at all.
No, I mean, I'm crazy. I mean, I'm totally crazy with how I do this. But it works, and I'm training other people under me to be crazy. So eventually, I'll have, very dedicated, and I do have very dedicated people that will follow sort of in my footsteps. And maybe someday I could be sort of like the chairman of the board or something.
You're not going to do that, are you?
No.
You ever miss the rock promoting days?
I do miss the rock promoting days.
Really?
Because I love music.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that new act. It's like seeing a new restaurant, by the way. It's you book this new act, you promote this new act, and you just watch it explode. When I first did U2 in my nightclub, or Cyndi Lauper, to see them first and watch them, you could just see the talent that they had. And it's very similar to having a new restaurant. You just see people respond and, light a match, or I guess today they put their cell phones up in the air for the encore.
It's just not what it was.
Right.
Although the fire marshal probably likes it better as well. Listen, we are just so delighted that you came in, and as one Philadelphia guy to another, it's great to see the success story you showed them here in the Big Apple, and we'll be looking. And you know what? Let's see, in South Florida, you got what going right now?
Fort Lauderdale Steakhouse, and then we're doing Budokan in Miami.
Excellent. All right.
And we're doing more in New York City. We'll be announcing that soon.
All right. Well, you come on back.
All right, good.
We'll talk.
Thank
Stephen
you.
Starr, thank you very much. Back with Joan Osborne in a moment. Don't go away.